Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and today, well, we're going to talk about the brand new Masters of the Universe Origins Snake Mountain playset. So first things first, I got to give a very special shout out to the folks over at Mattel who sent along some new images, release information, and some of the videos that you're going to see within this video today, like that incredible stop motion animation that we saw at the start of this video here. Really cool stuff. I'm not entirely sure who did that for Mattel. I hope they announce that because I'd love to give proper credit. It was an amazing little video there. But yeah, we finally have some great release information for the upcoming Snake Mountain playset. Now, last September or so, I actually had the opportunity to go out to Mattel headquarters, and I got to see the unveiling of the prototype for the Snake Mountain playset that's coming out later this year in the Origins line. And at the time, it was a pretty early prototype. Some of the things about it were definitely going to change, like the color of the playset wasn't quite right. That snake was something they were still working on. But now we've got some final images and some details on the playset's release. And I'm definitely going to talk about the images that they sent over. But first, I want to play this very cool behind the scenes video that Mattel sent over.
Hey guys, it's Damon again from the MOTU design team, and I'm here to talk to you guys about Snake Mountain. I remember this from the animation and just thinking what a cool, evil lair this was.
I know it's a playset that everyone's been asking for a really long time, so we're really excited to finally showcase it for you guys. So if you look at the front out here, it's a lot of what you guys will remember from the vintage set. Got the iconic face, the wolf head, and these shackles. So on the other side, in true Origins fashion, we're improving where we can. So we got inspiration from the Filmation cartoon Snake Mountain, adding a Snake Mountain peak and changing the snake to be a little bit more of an imposing presence. So we're adding a little bit of color to the bridge. We added these really cool Snake Mountain-y vein vines. So as He-Man makes his way up Snake Mountain, along the path, we added foot pegs so that your figures can stand up better. He gets captured on the cliffside. Because it's a soft plastic, it's really easy to just get it around the figure's hands. So when your heroes make it to the top of Snake Mountain, they have to get past a giant guardian snake. Something really cool about this snake that we've done with it is give it some articulation points, and it's got a really cool neck joint. All right, so let's open it up. Let's start with Skeletor's throne. We have this really cool spider. We added these acid pit monsters. This is a removable cage that you can take off from this side of Snake Mountain and put it under the trapdoor. But if there's no cage to catch him when he falls through the trapdoor, he falls into this acid pit, and now you get a cool display of your heroes melting.
So the Snake Mountain packaging is in the early development stage right now. What I plan to do is reference the original concept sketch and the box art done by William George. The mood that I'm trying to capture with Snake Mountain is something ominous. Like there's like a threat that the heroic warriors need to try to overcome.
Well, the rightful owners of Snake Mountain is obviously Skeletor. I mean, whose throne is that?
Team Snakeman. They were the original, owners.
We've all lived in places after someone else, but it becomes yours once you move in, so it's Skeletor's.
We've been wanting to do Snake Mountain for forever.
We grew up with MOTU. I grew up with MOTU.
Snake Mountain is one of the most iconic villain-based playsets of all time, and this is why we can't wait for our fans to get their hands on it and to give Skeletor his rightful place on his throne within the halls of Snake Mountain.
So I've got to say, this is looking like a really impressive playset. Now, the cool thing is it does look like a lot of the stuff that we saw way back at the end of the year last year is still intact. There's some really cool new features that they are introducing with this particular playset that really plusses up the idea of Snake Mountain as a toy. To be perfectly honest, the vintage one was always lacking, especially when compared to Castle Grayskull. The inside of it just didn't have anything going on. It always felt very empty, and the action features weren't as prominent with that one. Sure, the vintage one had the electronics with the microphone, but there wasn't a whole lot else going on. I think what Mattel's doing with this new one is really cool. They've added a lot of new features, and in that video that we just watched, they highlighted some of the cool ones. For instance, I love that this particular set comes with this amazing removable cage. They demoed this last year and I thought it was so impressive. There is a jail cell cage that is positioned on the lower portion of Snake Mountain. If you want to, you can move that up to the top portion of Snake Mountain on the other side, which positions it directly under the dropping trapdoor. And the dropping trapdoor is a feature that comes straight from the vintage one, but in that old playset, they always just kind of fell into nothing. There was always the sticker of the little lava pool or the pool of monsters underneath it, but that's it. They just fell down into that or the little net that never caught them very well. So now we've got this cage that you can position directly under that trapdoor, and the figures will fall down into that cage, and then you can move the cage over back to the other side to imprison the heroes. I thought that was incredibly cool. They talked about the removable spider in that video. Now, that little removable spider is pretty neat because that also works as a little way to turn that wolf head on there. Now, the wolf head is what was the microphone on the vintage toy. Now it's just sort of this turning wolf head, and that spider will plug into the bottom of it to allow you to turn it, but can also be removed to be just a creepy spider creature, which is actually pretty cool. And speaking of creatures, one of the things that they did with this is something that I always love that they do. They took the designs of the stickers, that little pool that I talked about with the little monsters, and they brought it to life. So now the pool isn't just a sticker, but it actually folds open, and it's a plastic piece, and they brought those little creatures to life. We got two little, they're just unpainted, they're solid colored, but still, they come straight off that vintage sticker sheet. We got these cool little creatures that hang out with the pool. You could see you could plug it on there so it looks like it's coming out of that little pool of green water or acid, whatever you want to call it. But one of the things they talk about is how the peg for that creature is the same size peg as the waist peg on your Origins figures. Meaning, you could pop your figures in half, you could stick the torso on that peg, and it looks like your hero is sinking into that little pool. That is just a cool little extra step that I love to see them take. That makes for a great display piece and a great play functionality. Also, this set comes with a bone throne for Skeletor, something that was sorely lacking in the vintage Snake Mountain toy. I'm very excited to see that. And lots of other cool little features there as well. It does come with a small little weapons rack. And one of the things that they really went all out on is that snake. Now, that snake was really kind of strange looking when we first saw the prototype, and they did mention at the time it was something they were still working on. In some of the shots, the promo shots, it still looks weird, like it's not positioned quite right, but they do talk in that video about how they've added articulation to it, and they demonstrate that a little bit. So you can definitely see there's multiple points of articulation, so the snake can kind of twist around and bend, and on top of that, it has an opening and closing jaw, meaning that this isn't just a snake hanging off as decoration anymore. This is an actual snake that the heroes can fight at the top, so that is a really cool added feature as well. And again, just something that makes this feel extra, something new. You still have a lot of the old features too, like the shackles on the outside, the stairs leading up to the trapdoor. They did also mention that they put foot pegs on the stairs, so you can display figures on there, which is something else that I totally appreciate. Another thing that they did on this, and they showed this last year as well, is they did add this sort of like mountain facade, this point that is at the top of it, kind of going around the trapdoor canopy section up there. And that's to kind of give it that more mountain-esque look, which actually boosts the height of the overall playset as well. It's just like this added piece on top, but it does make a really big difference as far as the overall look goes, and it's definitely something that I approve of. So there you go. That's a look at Snake Mountain, kind of a final look. I've really been impressed with how much they've shown of this playset for the past 6 or 7 months now, which is really cool. And now we've got official release information as well. This set is going to retail for $79.99. It goes up for pre-order on Masters of the Universe Day, which is Friday, April 28th, 2023. This should be going up for pre-order at all of the usual online shops that carry Masters of the Universe Origins products. It has also already popped up for sale on Amazon, so some of you guys might have already seen the pre-order link pop up a little early over there, but it looks like it'll be very easy to pre-order, which is good, with it being set to release late in the fall. So pretty exciting stuff. $79.99 new price for the Masters of the Universe Origins Snake Mountain playset. Again, I got to give a very special thanks to Mattel because they were the ones that sent over the images and the videos that we took a look at here today. Very excited to take a look at this playset in hand when it does finally get released. Thank you guys so very much for watching today's video. Until next time, my friends.